Hello, everyone. Satsangat Astrology here. This time I will talk about the new moon in Leo happening on August 18. So pretty soon, today is I lost count of time. Today is the 11th. So just a week away. This new moon in Leo will happen 26 degrees of Leo, 35 minutes. And the time, I will have to share my screen in order to show you what time. Okay, and I have the time for Austin, Texas. You can calculate your time accordingly to the place where you live in the world, but here is 9:41 p.m. Okay, here's the chart. Let me move this here. Okay, so the sun and the moon, when there's a new moon, they are together. And this means that our essence of the core essence of our self is together, and the projective expression of our self, it is together with the more inner essence, psychic, memory, the emotional being that is more receptive. So it is like having father and mother together, and also is the planting of a new seed, meaning there is a new beginning here. So, but this new beginning will be delayed. Unfortunately, there are many factors that we need to consider in this new moon in order to understand the signification and the reach. So let's start by seeing the elements. Here we have 9 elements in fire. So this chart is predominantly fire. See, we have a cluster in Eris, and we have a stellium in Leo as well. Another stellium in Earth here, and some other elements scatters here and there. But the main elements are fire and earth. So, and unfortunately, they are clashing. Not only are they very different, right? And almost not working together very well. Fire and earth, you know, it's kind of burning like the burning fires in California, for example. Not very good combination. And especially because they are squaring each other, which means that they are not on the same page. Okay, so fire, the fire element is that burst of joy, the energy that we have in the self, and also our actions have a purpose when we have so much fire. We have energy, we move fast, it's the drive to go and do things, very active, very expressive, even dramatic expression, and also extroverted, right? Fire is Leo, Eris, Leo, and Sagittarius, right? They are not signs that keep the what they have to say to themselves, right? They are outgoing and very expressive, extroverted, extroverted. And then they're very enthusiastic, right? Optimistic, and there is some level of idealism as well. But we can be sure that they love freedom, right? And especially if we think of the fire element, is very honest, right? It is what it is. It is what you see is what you get. So there is with this new moon is this burst of energy and confidence and the willing to go out and do things. It's summertime in the northern hemisphere where the zodiac was created, right? So the signification of this is this willingness to do things, to express, and see. The sun and the moon are together with Mercury. So this new moon, it has a message. It has something to say, and there is a need to communicate something. There is an initiation also. It could be a new beginning in a business project, planning a new business, or communication. What else? And oh, another thing that is very important is that Mercury also rules our relationship with the environment, with everything that is around us, people, places, you know, your neighborhood. And it's the stage, for example, if we refer to Mercury as the ruler of Gemini, for example, is the stage in the child's development where he or she starts to relate to the environment by asking or identifying objects with names, right? Naming, labeling things, associating a concept in the mind with an object or something outside of themselves. So it is this relationship of the mind with the environment. So there is something that we are thinking to begin, and it's related to our environment, our daily routines, our, it could be also something beginning related to our health, right? Because Mercury is associated with the health. Specifically associated with the digestive health, lungs. What else? It also correlates to the extremities, right? Because Mercury rules anything that is communicative, and it could be bridges, right? I was saying the relationship from the mind to the environment. So there is this bridge, and all the bridges are also ruled by Mercury. But on that same concept, it is related to transportation, because we go from one place to another. We relate one place to another. We link, right? Link would be a keyword for Mercury. So Mercury rules the communication, not only verbal, nonverbal, mental, intellectual concepts, right, relating to the environment, but also physically. We walk, right? We bike, we travel. Short travels, right, are also ruled by Mercury, which means that this new moon could be related to any of those concepts or significations. So, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much fire and how much impetus we put in this new beginning, it won't happen anytime soon, because it is in conjunct Saturn. Again, like the previous, there was a new moon in Gemini that was also in conjunct Saturn, if you remember. So we are get moving and stop, or hurry up and wait, right? So this is the kind of energy that this new moon brings. So Saturn has the trait of delaying things. Remember, Saturn was the Greek god of chronos, the time, right? So Saturn delays, makes us work hard for it with discipline, planning, organization, maturity. So this new moon with this message that is bringing will probably not be clear for some time. And I think that this is a seed that we are planting probably in our heart, right? Leo rules the heart. We're planting this desire to do this new start, and it's the seed that will sprout probably when we have the full moon in Leo in 6 months. And this is related to other things that happen in the chart as well. So Saturn in conjunct alienates the possibility of seeing the sprout of this seed. So we need to learn to be an adult. We need to accept responsibility. Also, as I said, stop and ponder and measure and see if we have all the tools, working hard. Sometimes also in conjunct with the sun, it could also be that we strive for recognition, or we are also discouraged. We need to not take unnecessary burdens, right? Because this is what the energy asks for. So it is delayed, it is blocked, restrained, constrained, but we need to persevere, working hard, as I said, with discipline in order to succeed, But as I said, patience may take a few months before we get the fruits of this new start. So we need to be patient and consistent. And if we really want what we want, then we need to work hard and repeatedly. You know, Saturn usually asks us to repeat until you get it perfect, right? It's like the goat going up the mountain when it's very steep, right? And they are in those little pieces of rock where they can just put one foot. So this creative expression that we want to start with this new moon will require us to do hard work, very difficult. But if you persist, you will succeed. So sometimes we will suffer criticism, feelings of pessimism, maybe checks and balances with authorities. Saturn represents, especially in Capricorn, represents the rules, the regulations of society, the conventions that you need to respect, the order, and authorities. And oftentimes we find ourselves in this kind of inconjunct, having the boss looking over your shoulder, or depending on where what house Leo is for you in your personal chart, but sometimes an authority is like supervising us and criticizing every detail. So it is kind of a heavy energy that is blocking, and we need to adjust, take heavy responsibilities before we can do whatever we desire to do very in our heart, you know. And sometimes we need to stand up to this oppressive kind of conventions and regulations and traditions, because Saturn is very traditional, the way that we always have done it, you know. Saturn is the elder of the zodiac. So as elders and grandparents, they have a way to do things, you know, and that is very traditional, conservative, and we need to submit to that kind of heaviness. And it's very hard to take social risks, you know, because it's like the authority telling us, well, this is never been done that way. You need to do it this way. And it also, if we dream too high, then we may be taken down a few steps and have a reality check as well. So we may not only face criticism, but even disapproval from the consensus, you know, and we may have people who criticize or say, oh no, that will never be viable, that is impossible, and that kind of thing. So make sure that you have your dream and your passion very well guarded in your heart, so you can persist, you can be really determined, right? And that's the fire energy of this chart, that you can be very determined, especially because we have also we have a sextile to let me see my notes. The moon and the sun sextile Haumea, and Haumea, let me show you here. Haumea, I had the notes here. Haumea is this glyph or symbol here, 26 degrees of Libra. And this is one of the new discovered planets beyond Pluto. It has a 283 years orbit around the sun. And it was discovered in December 2004. It's a dwarf planet and is the planet associated with creation, fertility, because it's named of the goddess of the native peoples in the Hawaiian culture, I think. So it is associated with childbirth, fecundation. It is considered in that culture a goddess of the earth. But this is a special kind of goddess, because she, not only does she have an eternal youth, but she can supply an abundance of food and resources, and she can regenerate herself from her own body. So her own body is able to regenerate. So recreates herself. So this, excuse me. This planet then is associated with the earth and the ability to regenerate and heal herself and give resources abundantly, food and life abundantly to the world. So this new moon is sextile, and this is a 60-degree angle that is an opportunity for us to regenerate, to use this energy in order to from the, for example, this goddess, if she loses a limb, she will regenerate it. So this show us that the possibility for us to be reborn, be redone, right, and be regenerated from the destruction that we are facing these days, right? So there is this new hope. It gives us hope for the future, right? I want to say that it also trines Mars, Eris, and Black Moon Lilith. So, where did I have Black Moon Lilith? I think I had it. Okay, so doesn't matter. Black Moon Lilith in Aries, and especially conjunct Mars and Eris, E-R-I-S, this symbol here. When these three conjunct, this is fire taken to the highest expression of impulsiveness, of initiation, assertion, aggression even, because with Black Moon Lilith there's no possibility to hold back the anger. Mars in Aries could be anger, especially with Eris, this also dwarf planet that was recently discovered. And this combination really is the combination that is firing this anger that is fighting for the right to exist, right? Aries, the sign of Aries is the first burst of life when the baby is born, right? Is the first sign of the zodiac where we are born, is the baby, is the first impulse of life that brings us to this world. And there we also have Chiron, even though it's not a conjunct this three planets, but the sign of Aries is now showing this vibration that is appearing in the world, where people are claiming the right to exist, the right to have the basic life, you know, food, shelter, and the right to be, no matter the color of the skin, the condition, their gender orientation, or no matter where in the world they live, they are claiming their right to exist. And that's what Aries is. Now, Black Moon Lilith is with Eris and Mars. It's impossible to control the anger. Now, in many places in the world, people have gone to the point where they can't bear the situation or the circumstances anymore, be it because of the oppression, because of the and here is the square with Pluto and Saturn midpoint, right? Because Mars and here Mars and Eris at 24 degrees, and Pluto 22, Saturn 26, the midpoint is 24. So it is this combination, the midpoint is the combination of Pluto and Saturn, which we have seen since their conjunction in the month of January 12th this year, which triggered the whole crisis, right? The health crisis and all the consequences that came after because of it. So, and also regarding health, right? People are claiming the right to be protected against this health problem, and and they're clashing against those the powers in the people in power and those elites, governmental, political, economical structures that are not only not working for the existence to favor the existence of people, but working against that in many places of the world. So, and people are protesting, demanding justice, right? Aries is the sign of honesty. They can't tolerate lies. They can't tolerate dishonesty. They are straightforward. They go. They are direct. You never guess what an Aries wants. You know it very well, because Aries is the sign of the ram, and the ram, when it has a target, it goes against it, and boom. And so it's like it's impossible to contain the Aries energy with all these planets claiming for the right to exist. And in the clash, as I said, in clash with the institutional structures that in fact are forced to transform, transmute, many of them to die completely. I heard in the news, for example, that in Lebanon, the government decided to step down, or at least, I don't know, part of the government decided to resign and step down. They are not proposing any changes, but they're just stepping down according to the official message. So Pluto in Capricorn is doing that, is demolishing the powers that be at the moment. The huge powers, there are, especially it is showing out in the world the corruption, and I don't need to tell you, because if you watch the news, you know what I'm talking about, that everything is coming out in the open, is the era of disclosure, the communications and the information, even though they might be masked or manipulated, but if people want to have the information, they find it. So, and Saturn is back retrograde, right, to almost the same place where they met in January, because Saturn is the reorganization, the restructuring. So there is a new a renewal of the structure. So here there is a destruction and then reconstruction in other ways. So you will hear the demands of people will be very, very assertive, if not aggressive, because, as I said, they demand honesty, integrity from the powers that be. Generally speaking, I think I explained all the main energies here. We have other things, for example, is Uranus is turning retrograde August 15th, just 3 days before, which makes Uranus very powerful because it became stationary, and it has a few days before it can really, many days before it can really move. I think it will stay at 10 degrees for about 2 months, more than 2 months, 2.5 months. It will stay at 10 degrees. And if you remember, it's been at 10 degrees for another 2 months or so. So 10 degrees will be important if you have any planets at 10 degrees of, especially in the fixed signs, you know, because they will square Uranus. For example, if you have the sun or any planet, especially the personal planets in the fixed signs, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, that will be important because, as I said, it is the energy of a stationary planet that is not moving too much. It is stronger. And the symbolism of Uranus is sudden, unexpected events, or events that demand liberation of something of some kind. For example, earthquakes are also possible with this kind of energy because Uranus and Taurus, we're talking about fire and air and earth. So this kind of energy can be disruptive, can be also insights of understanding something that you had a hard time understanding before, and it could be all of a sudden you got it. Like the eureka moments, right? And if you see the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is in Cancer here. So the disruptions may be related to family, to security, comfort, the comfort zone. It could be the values of your country. There could be disruptions in the economy, also the values, the financial values, like financial markets, which has been predicted already because Uranus rules the stock market, and also Uranus rules together with Aquarius alliances. So there might be disruption of alliances between countries. Cancer rules countries, your home country, and so there could be change of values, disruptive change of values regarding your home country, for example, or disrupted changes in your home or your family environment, either your house or your family members, or something happening within your family. So Venus there in Cancer is you are valuing and your desires are focused on your safety, your shelter, physically and emotionally. So that's where your desires are going right now. Well, I think that's all I have to say about this chart. You need to see where Leo falls in your chart. If Leo is your first house, because that's your rising sign, then it's a new beginning about yourself, regarding your identity, something that you would like to change for yourself, who you are, right? If Leo is your second house, then that will be something, a new beginning in your finances, in the way you make money, or also it could be a new beginning on your values. It could be what you value now. Also in your family traditions. If Leo is your third house, then it will be a new beginning in your neighborhood, or for your siblings, classmates. It could be if you're going to school, it could be a new beginning in your school, especially if it is elementary school, or if it is a school to learn skills, like when you learn trade, for example. So third house also rules skills and business. It could be a new beginning, especially with Mercury. It could be a new beginning in business for you. If Leo is your fourth house, then that will be something, a new beginning regarding your family and your security, or your house. Maybe you are planning, or you want to move houses, or you moved houses, right? If it is your fifth house, then that will be a new beginning regarding your children, or a romantic affair, or a creative project that you have. If Leo is your sixth house, then this is a new beginning related to your health, or it could be related to the place of work. For example, they may give you a new office, or you may be working at home with new equipment, or maybe you want a new pet, right? If it is the seventh house, that will be for Aquarius rising. Leo is your seventh house, then there's something new for your partner, or you get a new partner, maybe, or it could be personal or business, or contracts. You may sign a new contract. Even though that could be delayed, remember. If Leo is your eighth house, then that will be, for example, something new about your shared finances. It could be something new in your bank, a loan, or something new regarding your taxes, or something new related to the resources that you share with your business partner or your personal partner, with your spouse. If Leo is your ninth house, then that will be a new beginning in your studies. Maybe you are starting a new course of study, or you are just started in college, or something new about your religion. If you belong to a religious organization, it could also be something related to a culture, right? A new thing about your culture, or you are studying something about, or it could be that you start learning a foreign language, for example. If Leo is your 10th house, then that will be for Scorpio risings. then in the 10th house, it could be a new start in your career. Maybe you got a job and you are about to start, but you have, you know, all those regulations to learn in order to get started with that job. Or it could be that you get married and your civil status changes. So anything that is related to your public life. If Leo is your 11th house, then that will be something related to your contribution to society, your creative contribution to groups, like-minded, or groups that you are associated with a common cause. Or your friends, you know, it could be that you start a new friendship, either with a person or a group. And if Leo is your 12th house, then there is a new beginning in your subconscious, or it could be that you get a new bed for your bedroom, right? Because 12th house is the place where you relax. So it could be something new that you start a retreat, you have a new practice, a new spiritual practice, for example. It could be with Leo, it could be that you are, for example, a representative in your religious group, and then you become some kind of leader in the group. Or it could be a beginning in something related to relaxation, vacation, for example. You can decide to go on vacation to a far away place like an island or something like that. So it has to do, 12th house has to do with relaxation, vacation, sleep, and also very deeply psychological things that we may carry from past lives, right? 12th house is past life issues, right? And it could be a new beginning there. Maybe the two luminaries are there together with Mercury, and so it could be something that you realize all of a sudden. Although I need to tell you that Mercury will be invisible until November, probably after the elections in the United States. So Mercury invisible, it is not very easy. So it's like having your mind with too much light, which means that it is not easy to see. When you have too much light on your eyes and you're not able to see, when this is the image of having Mercury, your mind, blinded by the sun, right? So the mind doesn't really give all that it can. And in conjunction with Saturn, we see that this new beginning is a false beginning. Really, it's hurry up and wait, as I said at the beginning. So I went through all Leo and all the houses. I hope that you identify with any of those subjects. According to your rising sign, you should know which house you have Leo on. So I wish you the best, and I hope this video helped to prepare for this new moon. I need to tell you that every month you have what is called the lunar return. When the moon comes back to the same place or degree and sign where it was when you were born in your chart, right? If you have, for example, the moon in Aquarius at 10 degrees, well, every month when the moon comes to the 10th degrees of Aquarius, then is your lunar return. And we read that chart in order to find the energies for the cycle from that date to the next month. So for the lunar return is like the horoscope, for your personal horoscope for the month, from the time when the moon transits your natal moon until next month the same. So if you order that kind of reading, you can have a whole month of perspective for the whole month. It's the same for the solar return. When the sun returns to the position or the degree that it was in your chart when you were born. That's the solar return, and it tells you the story or the horoscope for the forecast for the whole year, from one birthday to the next. So I encourage you to order this kind of reading, because it gives you a perspective for the whole year or the whole month. So I wait for your readings, and I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. You will have my contact information in the description below. Thank you. Bye-bye.